Hi, Skip Kendall here. I'm going to tell you a story today, but it's also really going to help your putting.
Milwaukee's own Skip Kendall.
Skip Kendall.
Skip Kendall is 5 under today.
At the 9th. Chips in for birdie. He's tied for 3rd, 2 shots off the lead.
So 30 years ago, this is the 30th anniversary of the Claw. And it all started right around here, actually across the highway here at Lake Buena Vista at Disney World. But I'm going to tell you a story of how it came to be. So back when I was a kid, I grew up in Milwaukee, Wisconsin. And I saw a guy, I grew up at Brown Deer Park, public golf course, where they ended up playing the tour event for almost 20 years. But I grew up there. At the time, there was no driving range. And we spent a lot of time on the putting green. And when I was about 10, 11 years old, I saw a guy there, older gentleman that I had always seen putting, and he was holding the club like this and putting. And when I went over to him, of course, I'm 10, 11 years old. I have to go over. I got to know what's going on. Why is he doing that? And he said to me that he was doing it because he had the yips. And he said, "You know what the yips are?" And I said, "No, I have no idea what the yips are. What are you talking about?" And he goes, "Well, that's when you can't make it basically from a couple feet and in, maybe even a foot. You can't make it." I go, "What? You can't make it from a foot?" You know, I'm 10 years old. Of course, you know, whatever. And he goes, "No, the right wrist just goes crazy." And it was either find a different method to putt or quit the game because I couldn't make it from real short distances. And so he put his hands on like this. It took care, it kind of locked the right wrist in. Okay, I always remembered that. And as I started getting older and putting and, you know, really getting into the game, I started holding my hand like that and putting. And I did it just myself, just as a drill. Wasn't any big deal. You know, no one even really noticed when I did it. Fast forward now to 1995. I had just finished playing that year. It was towards the end of the year. I was playing a silly season event, 2-man team event over at Lake Buena Vista in Disney. And a whole bunch of guys were playing, and I ran into Chris DiMarco. We were in a rain delay, actually, and we were in the pro shop. It was a very small pro shop. We were all kind of huddled in there. Well, it was Chris's rookie year in '95, and wonderful player, but I saw down the stretch that he couldn't make it from a foot. I mean, he was really struggling. It was too bad because he ended up losing his card because of that. Bumped shoulders with him in the pro shop, and I said, "What are you gonna do next year?" And he said, "Well, I don't know. I think I'm gonna quit the game. I can't putt. I can't make it from a foot." And I know he probably would have found a way to do it, but I said, "Okay, here we go." I go, "Man, go, I gotta show you something. Go grab a putter off the rack." I grabbed a couple of balls out of the fishbowl on the counter, dropped him on the carpet, grabbed the putter, and I went like this. And I rolled a couple of balls like that on the carpet. No one had ever seen that before. He looked at me like I was from a different planet. "Oh my God," he said, "what in the world is that?" Well, I made him do it on the carpet. I made him put his right hand on like that and just rock his shoulders. Well, flash forward now to 1997. I did not see Chris in '96 after that. Not one time. I just heard through the grapevine that he had a wonderful year up in Canada, was player of the year up there. I haven't even seen him yet, but he got his card back for '97. First tournament in '97 is the Bob Hope. At the Bob Hope at the time, it was 5 rounds, 4 different courses, and you're playing with amateurs. So it's crazy. Everyone's all over the place before the tournament starts. Never ran into Chris. My first round, I'm playing at Bermuda Dunes, tee off number 10. I'm playing with 3 guys from Canada, 3 amateurs from Canada. We get on the 10th green, first hole of the day, and they're all putting like this. I'm like, "Oh my God, where did you learn how to do that?" And they said, "Well, we saw from our club, after we got done playing, the tour championship for the Canadian Tour is nationally televised in Canada. And Chris won the tournament. We saw the last couple of holes and he's putting like this." After the tournament was over, we all went on the putting green and we tried that, and we've been putting like it ever since. I could not believe it. I mean, I had never seen anyone else ever do it. I ran into Chris later in the week and I said, okay, give me the backstory. What's going on? You putted like that all last year? And he said, yes, I did. He goes, the story is the next day after that tournament at Disney, I went back out after the rain delay and I couldn't do it, but the next day I was playing up at Heathrow in North Orlando here where he was a member and played out of. And I missed the green on the first par 3 of the day. And I chipped up to about 6 feet and I had a downhill left to right putt with about a foot of break. And not only did I know I was gonna miss that one, but I knew I was gonna miss the one after that. So I put my hands on the grip like this, rocked my shoulders, ball went dead center of the hole. So the rest is history. Chris took off from there, had a wonderful career out there, still playing on the Champions Tour today and still putting like that. Matter of fact, I think he even made a putt in the last hole to win the President's Cup one year. He's had a great career and I'm really happy for him. But it took off from there. Now, the claw wasn't called the claw at first. Nobody knew what it was called. It was just a grip that I taught Chris how to do. And claw came from, he was a Florida Gator and the media just kind of said Gator claw and it stuck. I don't know who in the media named it, but that's how it all started. Probably about a year or so after he started doing it. And now there's many different versions of the grip itself. You know, you got guys, Scottie Scheffler, #1 player in the world. He's got like 2 fingers over the top, just kind of holding his hand like that and just rocking it. You got Tommy Fleetwood holding it thumb and forefinger like this with his right elbow underneath and rocking it like that. You got guys still doing full claw. You got guys 3 fingers over. Sergio Garcia just used to hold it like that. Many different versions of the claw today. The reason it's become so effective though is because that's what it does. It promotes what I always talk about, having that perfect pendulum stroke, right? You can't get handsy with the claw. So when you do this, it locks the right wrist in. You can't do that. So that's why it's so effective, especially on shorter putts. You can dial in the long putts too, but you know, I would say really, really good from 15 feet and in. And then just work on those long putts. It could really, really benefit you, especially if you're struggling. It's just a little change of method. You know, even me, I never putted with it during my career, but with this putter, you know, this is a DF3 Lab. It feels so good with it. I've been doing 2 fingers over the top for the last 1.5 years and have putted really well. So listen, if you want to improve your putting because you think you're getting a little handsy in your stroke, try the claw. Full claw, you can do 2 fingers like that. Scottie Scheffler, what he's doing. You can do Tommy Fleetwood like that. Some guys are just straight like this. Man, I even saw Vijay Singh do the reverse claw with the left hand. So I don't recommend that one, but I'm just saying there's many different versions. Try it. I think it's really gonna work for you, especially if you're struggling a little bit with shorter putts, especially if you feel like you have the yips. It'll take care of that, like that. All right, if you like this content, please like and subscribe down below. A lot of great content coming out. Hope you liked it. We'll see you next time. Wanna make more putts when it counts? Pressure-proof putting is gonna show you how to do that. Grab the link below and catch your 3 free videos so you can do that under pressure.